back into the deer, and hello everyone, and welcome back to Survival Roleplay. And we've been a little bit busy since we last seen each other. What I've done is I've done all the field extensions I wanted to do, so all this over here is done. It's been rock picked, so it's this little area over here. I thought create a little field over here. I was going to do something here, but just had a lot of stuff in the way. I may do something with this in the future. But also the big thing is, see, money's gone down quite a bit because we had to pay £5 grand to get all the stones around the farm removed, and that, yeah, that wasn't really cheap in that. Good thing is we saved money on transporting the rocks ourselves. We got them to dump into little piles around here. And what we're just going to do here is just get these last bits of rocks, put them into the trailer, take them up to the debris crusher, and then sell. I should need to wait for this, I think. But in total, we've got quite a bit of stones. I think we've got about 15,000 litres of stone from this. Yeah, about 13 actually, I think it was. Something on the lines of that. So that's going to be a lot of line for us. So what I'm just going to do quickly is get the weight on. Where have I left it tool? Over here, that's good. The other thing about being semi-organised is you sort of know roughly where things are. So there we go, just get you hooked up. Wait, the weight going on? Because it's in an awkward position. Come on, get on. Just push the weight out of the way first of all. Come on, don't have time for this. Oh, I hate when pieces of equipment don't like TBA. Come on. There we go. Just give it a little flutter kick. A little flutter kick always does good. Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to sell all the stones in this next hour that's coming up at 4 o'clock, so whatever we don't sell, we'll sell at 5 o'clock. However, we should get a hefty income from this, I think. Just about squeeze it into the trader. But yeah, so we got all the big stones and that. They got a bit of TNT, or the modern equivalent of TNT, should I say. I call it dynamite, even though dynamite ain't used nowadays because it's highly unstable in that, so it's a bit more difficult to control compared to modern explosives. But it's like the modern TNT equivalent, only small amounts, just blow up so it doesn't destroy the land, but it explodes the rocks and makes them into little more manageable pieces. Because these little chunks here, that I can live with. But yeah, also got quite a bit of stones from the field themselves. I think from that field extension that we did off camera, something like 5,000–6,000 litres we got, so not too bad for a little hole there. A tiny bit of stone left. She'll set that to sell, just in case we don't get there in time. But yeah, so plan for today is quickly get everything all sealed up, because I want to get this season done, so we can have some grass to mow in February, then some silage in March. Then once we do that, get a big income, and that's when we can start proper planting stuff, and then possibly we can buy a combine harvester perhaps. But yeah, get this last bit loaded up. Let's just time progress a little bit so it hits 4 o'clock and see how much we can make. We could do a tape handler, but they're so expensive, like around the 100 grand mark, so well, not too bad. 11 grand from that. Yeah, it doesn't seem much, but at the end of the day, it's better than nothing, so I will take that any day of the week. Plus, we still got quite a bit of stones left over in that, so of course, if there was a set selling point, then we could sell all the lime and keep all the profits, but at the time, There's just no local business wouldn't come over that will sell or be able to give silage, not silage, lime directly to them. So yeah, it's a bit of a catch-22. At the end of the day, I prefer to give them a 40% distribution fee than not to be able to sell at all. Run over grass a bit. Good thing about grass, it doesn't destroy when you run over them. Obviously when we do our crops now, that's one thing we've got to be careful of, because these are narrow tyres, so when we actually start doing crops, that's something we've got to do. But let's quickly take us to the debris crusher, and then we'll go from there. So there we are. We are back. We've stumped the tray off, so now we'll get the grass seeder. That thing hooked up. That's filled up with grass. Hopefully we shouldn't be able to use too much. And actually what I'm going to do, because all we've got is grass here growing, this will be ready to mow tomorrow. However, I'm tempted to leave that and mow that in February. Perhaps. I think that's what I may do, because I want this grass field to be one field rather than like mow different sections at a time. So I think that's perhaps the best way to go about it. Of course, we do is only a little. I think it's a 3 meter. I think it's like a 3 meter mower, or not mower, planter. Go to owned equipment, and it is 3 meters. So this is going to take some time. So grass cannot be mowed in December. Oh, that can't be right. There we go, got that sorted. So we're going to plant grass now. Helps if you turn the equipment on. But yeah, that fence line has become a bit of an issue, so we've got to be careful with that. But yeah, with the money we got, we're not going to go buy all the new mowing equipment that I mentioned that we're going to get. Simple reason is because if they come up second hand, or a better one comes up second hand, then we've got potentially the money to go about that. Also, we do need a stump grinder also at some point, or the forestry mulcher. So yeah, some equipment we need, including the combine harvester. To be honest, the combine, I think if this pans out well, then I shouldn't have to worry about it too much. Let's see, grass. Okay, we planted over grass, I think, so gotta be careful about that. But yeah, cause let's say if we look at on the crop window, wherever it's tool. But yeah, if you look at the crop window now, I think March is going to be March and April is the earliest time that we can possibly plant stuff, so or seed stuff. So actually, I'm not too worried about getting a combine now, because it's going to take until at least August to start harvesting stuff. September, August, perhaps. We could plant stuff earlier if we could, and then get a winter. I'll plant a winter crop now to be able to harvest in like June, July, May time. But yeah, we just don't have the equipment for that, and I do want to get a proper planter or seeder. There is a couple I want to keep an eye out for if it ever pops up in the second-hand market. If we go to tools, bear in mind our tractor's only 175 horsepower, so something like Great Plains. That I would love to have, but 208 horsepower ain't gonna cut it, so perhaps we could get away with something like that. But then that limits us to certain crops, so I think the best route really is perhaps more of a seeder rather than planter. Try looking at horsepower requirements like the Lemkin. If we could get that, yes, a bit 5 horsepower outside of our range, and it's quite expensive. Even if we get that second hand, that's going to be what, 75 grand, 80 grand, something like that. So I think the real option perhaps it's going to be something like one of these. I think like these 4-meter cedars and that. I think realistically it's going to be what we're able to get. Like some of these do have fertilizer options, like this one here. That's 210. Can't do that. That's 300. Yeah, 210, 270 now. So yeah, we've got a couple of options. Then there's that whole thing with mulching and rollers and that to get that yield bonus. Just so much things to do and so many things to worry about. I'll leave the headlights on because we're getting dark, but once we are done here, I think we could skip ahead till January and even February even. Depends on what pops up. If something interesting pops up in the used market, then yeah, we'll go ahead with it. If not, then oh yeah, we've got to sell this silage tomorrow, haven't we? From those 2 bunker side clamps, so January ain't a completely wasted day, but just make sure I've got every little bit. But yeah, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to T1 here, and then yeah, we'll simply go from there I think, because this is going to take some time to do. Alright, so it is the next day here, and we've got some seeds loaded up because we've been spending our money, as you can see. We've got a couple of grand, I think, from the debris crusher, as expected. Also, we bought a brand new seeder. It's the 4-meter seeder that we sort of been talking about. I tried to delay it, but the grass roller was using, I think it was using a bit more seed than I would have expected. But certainly at least, ooh, a bit uneasy there. But yeah, I think it was used a bit more seed, and especially the working width. With the 4-meter work width, got the work done quite 5% faster than compared to, and we sold that. We sold the grass roller thing for about 1,600. It was second hand, so actually speaking of which, we haven't checked the daily what was it, user market, so we can actually have a look at that, can we? So if we have a gander, yep, still got this, still got that. Oh, look at that, we got the Case Bader, 230 horsepower, not really what we're looking for in reality, but well, we are looking for that, but also we shouldn't have a powerful enough tractor. We've got a manure spreader, I think, there. We'll look over here, and yeah, nothing really to our interest that we can afford and could use with. The case spader, I would love to have that, but we shouldn't have a powerful enough tractor. Got a manure spreader, but we don't have any animals that produce manure as of yet. Maybe in the future, who knows? And yeah, so nothing to our real interest at the moment. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is quickly go and get all this silage picked up, and then we'll go and sell it, and see how much money we can get. If we can get into the 50 grand mark by the time we've done these 2 loads, which I think it'll be just about 2 and a bit loads, so... But yeah, anywho, so we'll continue on this, and then I'll bring folks back once we are done here, because you've seen me doing a time lapse to take us to the silage, to the shop, and yeah, so yeah, go and get it done, and I'll see you folks in a minute. So there we go, we got just over 3 grand per full load, and we got another 15% of a load here, so should get about, I don't know, about 450, 500 euros for this. I think the heel makes all the difference. It adds up to that total we need to get the combine harvester and get the header. Like those 2 alone is going to be 75 grand, so you can almost just afford a combine harvester, but ideally I want to get that second hand. Or heck, even we get a better one to come up. Yeah, 464. We go and look at some of these here. So yeah, the cost is 55 grand plus a header. Let's say if the Deutz pops up second hand 60% off. What's the capacity of that? That is 5600 litres. That is 4900. That's 8500. So actually, if the Raw Smash pops up, then I don't think that's a better deal. What's that? 175 horsepower compared to 155. That's got a 5 meter header. What about this? Really, only 20 horsepower difference, but we could try be a bit cheeky and get a better header. Yeah, that's what, 25 grand compared to 20 grand, so even though it won't actually match up, yeah, we'll try to be a bit clever with a couple of these things. But yeah, I think we'll just have to wait and see what day brings and that. I think what we'll do now, we'll head back to the farm, have a sleep overnight, and let's just see if anything pops up in the used market dealership. Also tomorrow I'll speak to Derek, because I think he's back. He's getting back later on today at some point, so once he's back we'll go and speak to him tomorrow. See if he needs any timber and that, if he's got any demands for any clients and that, because if he's got demand, then even though we don't have many trees left, I'm willing to supply some trees, especially the bigger ones. If we get some of those bigger ones, then they do have some volume in terms with literage, and then you can use those to make planks, and who knows, if we have the carpentry business coming in at some point, then we could get some flat packs and rival IKEA perhaps, but that's all going to be a bit down the road I think, before we have any more neighbours popping in. But yeah, we'll head back to the farm, get some rest, and let's see what tomorrow brings. Morning folks, and we are on our way back to the farm after buying some new equipment. We got the 8.4 meter tether, or no, it's our windrower, and that is the Samsey Zizit 840H. And in terms of the mowers, we got the Kuhn GMD 8730FF. This will link up, even though the horsepower requirement is 190 horsepower and our tractor is only 175. So I think what we'll do before we get any work done is we'll go ahead and service it at the farm, and then next time we'll go and see if it works. If it doesn't, then we'll have to perhaps go and get the other mower that's more suitable for this, or at least it looks more suitable, should I say. That's only 60, so that's 180 horsepower. So yeah, that's 60 horsepower compared to... Yeah, really, I don't think 10 horsepower is going to make that much of a difference, but who knows. But yeah, we are looking up now. Obviously we could mow like this and windrow it, but of course we will miss the patch in the middle. And if we have a look at our grass fields, they are ready to harvest, I think, or ready to mow. Yep. Also, one thing I did notice, the longer or short you leave things, sort of like the grass and that, new crops they wither and that, but the grass it sort of changes colour. Because if we look at our grass here, all nice and bright green, but then we've got the grass that was ready to mow yesterday, that's got even more like yellowish, bit of a yellowish tinge to it. Perhaps because it's just all dried up in that and it's about to wither perhaps, but hasn't withered thus yet. So I think we'll just go and put the windrower over here for now. Oh no, wrong thing to do. I'll have to disconnect you anyway because we're going to mount you backwards. And we'll do a quick test here and see if we can actually go and get this thing mowed. Because what is top speed? 30 miles an hour compared to 13, so should be able to do that 30 miles an hour with no issues. I'm somehow a bit skeptic of that. We've got lots of things in the way. We'll just push the... Oops, don't damage our equipment. Let's go and service the tractor. And where is the motor? Oh, it's in the shed. And I think by the end of the day we'll need some more fuel, but if that's the case then so be it. That thing does need a bit of a service as well, so we'll get that all serviced up. Yeah, it's a bit of a Frankenstein setup here. We've got yellow, green and white and red and all that, but if it does the job then I'm not complaining. Happy with that. So let's get this thing baby unfolded. And we'll start over here. I don't think this can windrow it, can it? Nope, it cannot, didn't think so, so did need a windrower. So let's go and get everything all set up here. Let's see if we can mow at 30 miles an hour. 10, 12, 13. Yeah, we're getting the job done here. 14 we're hitting. And that is what I like to see. And I think on that note, this is where we'll leave it today. So next time, we'll continue on with the mowing. And this is going to be a lot of silage for us. So we can see how much money we can make. Price at the moment for silage is about 200 per fowl. We have a little gander over here. Here, 191. Its parent's going down, but that doesn't always mean it's going down or going up. So yeah, prices are at its peak at the moment for silage. It will match about this tomorrow in March when it's going to be fermented. However, it will rocket bottom at some point, so we need to keep an eye on that. We need to get it done as early as possible. But yeah, so that'll be it for me today, folks, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.